I can't actually believe, I can't actually believe what this football club has turned into. We used to play with pride. We used to win major honours. We used to be proud of the club we support. In the last 2 weeks, 2 weeks, we have announced Conor Benn's fight in March at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've announced the Saracens rugby match. We've announced that 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, and Beyonce will be performing this season. Beyonce is probably the biggest star our stadium has ever seen. And you're probably thinking, why are you annoyed about the club bringing in revenue? The reason why I'm annoyed, I don't have a problem with the club bringing in revenue. I have a problem when it comes to bringing in all these different revenue sources, we don't spend it properly. Ange Postecoglou has still not been sacked. Still not been sacked, which tells me he will be here come the Manchester United game. The football club is a mess. I'm not even going to smash my chair up today. I'm not even going to scream and shout. It's just, this is where we're at. We're at a crossroads. I said this yesterday on the Football Terrace. We are at a crossroads, and I'll explain that in a second. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you have that subscribe button. Big up to everyone. We just hit 44K. We're 6K now. Less than 6K, sorry, from hitting the big 50. So if you haven't already, please go down and hit that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. Now, Tottenham, strap in. Strap in for a bumpy ride. Before I get onto Ange Postecoglou, I just want to show everyone and make everyone see my point of view. When the club have their own stadium account, 40,000 tickets have been sold for the Saracens Showdown, which is in mid-March. Like I said, I have no problem with this if the club are going to go out and spend some of that extra revenue on decent players, right? Coming to N17 throughout 2025, NFL. Yep, so that's 2 events this year. Coming to N17, as well as that, a night you're not going to want to miss. Unfinished business between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. And then yesterday, Kendrick Lamar's tour dates were announced. He's playing at Villa Park. Have you noticed how Villa Park announced it? Because their football club right now still in the Champions League, still in the FA Cup, and better than us in the league. The same Aston Villa team that 6 years ago were in the Championship, and 6 years ago we were in a Champions League final. We have spent 3 times the amount of revenue they have in the last 6 years. Look at where they are. They've got a very, very good manager. They've got a good squad, good players. Rashford, Asensio, Watkins, Kamara. You know, they replace players. John Duran leaves. They have a good transfer window. They bring in Malin, Rashford, and Asensio. You throw that in with Rodgers and Ramsey. They've got a good squad. Our transfer window, disgraceful. We bring in a backup goalkeeper that we didn't really need. A centre-back who's actually he's actually all right, to be fair. And we bring in Matthias Tell. Like, explain to me how that's improving Ange Postecoglou's squad. The club knew about this injury crisis from early December. Why? Why have they not done anything about it? And then the club go out there and announce that Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar will be performing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this season. Like I said, I have no problem, but read the room. Read the room. The football club right now is struggling. The fan base are at each other's necks. There's a club, the club are now aware of the protest that's going to happen this weekend. We're protesting because of the absolute shit show that we're in. And then they go and announce more and more things outside of the pitch. It's laughable. It's actually laughable. You know, like I just don't get where we're at. I really don't get how people are putting up with this. Here you go. Tickets are now on sale to see 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, and Davido. Yet we're sitting 15th in the Premier League. Explain to me how that is acceptable. 15th in the, sorry, tell a lie. We're 14th in the Premier League. With Manchester United coming up next. And let's be honest, if Everton manage to beat Liverpool tomorrow night or get a draw, we're level on points with Everton. And as I said this the other day, Everton have sacked their manager. Wolves have sacked their manager. Leicester, Southampton, West Ham, Manchester United. The only teams in the bottom 10 that have not sacked their manager is McKenna at Ipswich, Glasner at Palace, Frank at Brentford, and Hertzer at Brighton. The other 6 have been sacked. And there's no team below us other than Everton who have not sacked their manager. Yet we're still here, 27 points. We're below a terrible Manchester United side who are into the next round of the FA Cup and still in the Europa League. Whenever it comes down to the big occasion, we completely crumble. Spineless performances, just doing absolutely the most to get knocked out of a cup. It's unacceptable. We need change at this football club. Whether you're Levy in, Ange out, Levy out, you can see right now that this is not acceptable. And then what are the club doing elsewhere? Announcing all of these events. I'm sick and tired of it. I can't believe this is what this football club has turned into. They don't care about what's on the pitch. The day after we got knocked out of the League Cup, Daniel Levy is sitting there on a fans forum saying we've got our Tottenham back. We haven't won a trophy in 17 years. And if we get knocked out of the Europa League, which is looking likely, it will be coming up to 18 years. But apparently we've got our Tottenham back. We've got a manager who's inept and is tactically a disaster class. We've got a squad that's been run into the ground due to the lack of reinforcements from our owner. And all our owner cares about is bringing on all these extra revenue sources so he can earn himself a pound note. Yet we the fans that travelled up there to Villa Park on Sunday, the fans that travelled up there to Anfield on Thursday, you get shit on week in, week out. I saw a fan on Twitter yesterday saying that he travelled something like 800-mile round trip up and down to Villa and up and down to Liverpool. And what have we got to show for it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We've got nothing to show for it. When you see Crystal Palace accounts like HLTC Co, who's a very, very knowledgeable guy, good creator, I actually like a lot of the stuff he does. When you see accounts like this coming out and say, why is Spurs Levy out protest deserve more coverage? Like, rival fans can see this now. Why can't some of our fans? Why are we sitting here? You know, it's laughable. It's actually laughable that we're still sitting here and that there isn't a lot more coverage. We got an owner who is one of the worst at making footballing decisions. Look, big up to Brian Daigle. Big up to Brian Daigle, right? Calling this out every single week. As you can see, Tottenham Hotspur just announced Kendrick Lamar and SZA, I can't remember, is it Caesar, to perform at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And there's the Beyonce one. Due to phenomenal demand, Beyonce has added 2 extra shows. 2 extra shows! For the 5th, 7th, 10th, and 12th. That means out of her entire tour, she spends most of her time at Tottenham Stadium. If that is not worth a protest on its own, then I don't know what is. Wake up and smell the coffee. This manager is not good enough. This owner doesn't care. Round and round and round and round and round we go. I'll see you soon.